Good evening, everybody. I hope you're good. Now, a lot of people have been requesting for this video, and I know most of you are new to crypto. So if you're new to crypto, I'm gonna do a quick crash course into this. Hopefully, we'll get enough time to actually finish this. Um, and I hope I'll cover as much as possible. So if you're new to crypto, the first thing that you need to know is what is crypto? So, crypto in its basic form is just digital money, right? That runs through the blockchain technology. So, what is the basis of crypto? So, you have what is called DeFi. To understand crypto, you need to understand what DeFi is. DeFi basically means decentralized finance, right? So in decentralized finance, right? What is decentralized finance? So this is an emerging financial technology, right? Based on secure distributed ledgers similar to those used by cryptocurrencies. The system removes the control. This is very important. The system removes the control banks and institutions have on money, financial products, and financial services. So now the keywords that I want us to take here is number one, it's an emerging financial technology, technology being the key word there, right? And then the other part is this technology here removes the control and the control that banks and institutions have on money. Now, the biggest problem with banks right now, with traditional banking is when you put money in your bank, right? You're the one who opens the account and you put your own money. But the bank gives, it's in as much as it's your money, but they have control over that money, right? If you have to meet certain criteria or certain requirements for you to qualify to open a bank account. Um, all these requirements are what is known as KYC, right? Which is some platforms want your personal information, your name, your surname, your email address, your physical address, copy of your ID or passport or whatever it is, right? That is the banking system or centralized finance. You will find this as well in on platforms like Binance, um, Luno, Coinbase, and all those other places that are there. So that is centralized finance. In DeFi, however, this technology removes all of that, right? So the services, the products, you know, there is the government and banks and all the other relevant things, they don't have control over your money or your assets in this case, right? Now, what are the advantages of DeFi? So the advantages of DeFi is number one, it eliminates the fees that banks and other financial companies charge, right? If you go into a bank, I always give this example. I was saving money up in a certain bank, and I think we had about 20,000 rands. And we wanted to remove that money, withdraw all of that money in one go, and we had to go inside to the teller. And they told us, okay, we understand, but you're gonna need to pay a fee. Like, oh, okay, well, what's the fee? And she said, I think it was around about 3% or something like that. But anyway, I don't know what the percentage was, but the amount was 700 rand that we had to pay in fees. So it was my money that I was giving to the bank, but the bank then charged me the fee to withdraw my own money, right? Which I don't have a problem with, but it's ridiculous, The fees are so super high. So DeFi, it eliminates the fees. So it doesn't completely eliminate, but it lowers the fees that, traditional banks that actually charge you. Now you hold your money in a secure digital wallet. We'll talk about this in a minute. In a digital wallet instead of keeping it in a bank. So it's a digital wallet, which is otherwise known as um, a self-custody wallet, right? You have so the money that you have, you keep it in your own wallet. You are the bank. Now, anyone with an internet connection can use it without needing approval. So number one, like I said, there's no KYC on this. As long as you have got internet connection wherever you are in the world, you have access to your money. Unlike other banks, if I open the bank, I'm based in South Africa. If I open a bank account here in South Africa, you know, I'm limited. Some accounts, depending on the account that you have, you are limited as to how much, or how many services you can actually access. But with DeFi, as long as you've got an internet connection, you are sorted. And you can transfer funds in seconds and minutes. It's super, super quick. Usually it's actually seconds. In a couple of minutes, you're done. I think the most that you would actually have seen is about 10 minutes. But otherwise, that is the advantages of DeFi. So what are the features? So features of DeFi is permissionless. So this means that the permissionless nature of decentralized, let me just move this, of DeFi eliminates the conventional login model, ensuring direct access to DeFi solutions. So you got direct access, like I said, you have your own wallet, no KYC, you're just in there, right? Another feature is that transactions in DeFi are untempered and without authorized modifications. So once a transaction goes one way, that's it. It cannot be altered. That is the whole purpose. No one can actually, you can see the transaction because it's transparent, but you don't know one, because you only get an address, you don't know who it is because there's no KYC. But it also ensures that, once it's done, it's done. So there is no, I know in some banks, they can actually, reverse transactions. With DeFi, there is no such thing. Transparency, like I said, everything is broadcasted on the network, right? You can see transactions going in and out, back and forth, right? So it's that transparent. The peer-to-peer mechanism in the blockchain area prevents data breaches. So there's very minimal data breaches and abrupt shutdowns. You go to bank and like, oh no, we're experiencing technical difficulties, or I don't know, some funny things like that. So this is DeFi. So once you understand this concept, which you can always, dig deeper into, but this is basically decentralized finance. So that being said, okay, fine, I understand what DeFi is. So how do you get started with crypto or with DeFi, right? I prefer calling it DeFi. So the first thing you actually need to do is you need to pick a centralized, you need to pick, let me see if I can move this down a bit. Yeah, there we go. Now you need to onboard. So by onboard, we just basically means you need to put your money somewhere, right? So you need to take it from the bank. Excuse me. You need to take it from the bank to your decentralized wallet. But how do you do that? There's two options. One, you can do it directly from a DeFi decentralized wallet, like Trust Wallet or MetaMask, or you could actually do it the way that most people do it is to do a centralized exchange. So a centralized exchange, I'm going to use here. You can use Binance. Let's see if we can get Binance. You can use Binance depending on your preference. You can use Binance or anything like that. But I'm not here to discuss that, right? Okay, so you can use Binance, Coinbase, and whatever. So because further, I'm going to talk about a project, an ecosystem called Ubuntu, right? So another would be like Ubuntuverse. right? The Ubuntu exchange. This is a particularly new exchange. This is in Africa. Now, what makes this exchange different? I'm going to quickly run over this. What makes this exchange different is it's it has a coin as well, right? Ubuntu, called Ubuntu, the Ubuntu token. I'm going to touch on this in a bit, right? So, how do you get started when you're in crypto? So, you go on a centralized exchange like this, and then you take money, you sign up and you do everything. You take money from your bank into a centralized exchange like this one, right? Once you get into a centralized exchange like this one, you purchase Ethereum, right? Inside this, you purchase your Ethereum. Once you purchase Ethereum, you download your Trust wallet, right? Or MetaMask. I personally like using Trust Wallet. And I often tell people this is my personal opinion, right? It's not people are different. You could take this. Some people like use MetaMask, so I prefer using MetaMask on the desktop, and I prefer using Trust Wallet on a phone or tablet. That's just my personal preference. Both wallet work. Wallets are just basically access a window into your crypto account. So it's up to you which one you prefer. MetaMask, Trust Wallet, same thing. So you download your Trust Wallet, your wallet. You send funds now from the centralized exchange to your wallet. Now, once you get to the wallet, you pick a coin, whichever coin that you want to purchase. In this case, it'll be Ubuntu. Now, I'm going to create a separate video about this. We'll talk about that later. So once you would buy a token, you go onto the address and then you can see, it says buy, and then you just click on buy, you follow the steps, and then you have it in your wallet, and so on and so forth. Now, once you have it in your wallet, right, now it's in your wallet. You are the account holder, right? So when you get a wallet, you get like your own unique address, right? And then you get in on any project, whether you get in on a pre-sale or whichever way. In this case, Ubuntu was launched like last week already, and it's already up and running. Right. So for those who have bought Ubuntu already, congratulations. If you haven't, go to the address ubuntu.net. I'll leave it in the link in the description below. I'll leave a link in the description below. So to go there, there's a couple of things that you need to do when you get to a coin like this. You need to do what is called DYOR, do your own research. So how do you do your own research? You start looking, going through, the white paper is a very good place to start. You can download the white paper, go through the white paper, find out what it's all about. You download it, go through it, see what it is all about. You also want to check if they have an audit report. In this case, Ubuntu does have an audit report, right? You actually go through, are they audited? You don't want to get into a um, ghost project or a fake project or, a scam project. So you need to check if it's audited or not, right? Like I said, like in this case, Ubuntu is audited. You can see the audit report here. Like I said, it was launched last week. You can go through the audit report. It's quite a long one, right? So that's one thing you want to do when you're doing your own research. Now, once you're done with that, you also want to check a couple of things as well. Now, another thing you'd want to do is you go on a certain platform, one of these platforms that I'm going to say. You can go on Dex Tools, or you can go on Dex View or Dex Screener. They all operate fundamentally, they operate the same way, but they just differ in terms of what features and tools they offer. In this case, I'm going to use Dextool as an example. So you copy the address, the token address, you go to Dextools or Dextrina, whichever you prefer. Now on the top there, you paste that address, right? You paste it there. it'll pop up there. This just ensures you're going to the right place because you don't want to end up going in the wrong place. Now, there's a couple of things that you would want to actually check. Yeah. Now, I'm going to come back to the chart in a bit. So now what you want to check is the liquidity locked? This is just me. Is the liquidity locked? If it's not green like that or locked like that, in this case, it is locked, 99% locked for 12 months. So liquidity lock just ensures that the developers of the token cannot, in any form or shape, take whatever is in the pool, whatever liquidity is there. They cannot pool the liquidity. Hence the term, if you read rug pool, they pull all the liquidity from there. So if it's not locked, that's a huge, huge red flag right there. Right. In this case, it's actually locked for 12 months, then you know it's sorted. So you can always see the supply, a couple of other tokenomics there that you can actually other information that you can check around there, the market cap, number of holders, 100 holders, and so on. So that is some things that you actually want to check. The other things that you want to check is you go to Etherscan and you can actually view the wallets. Right? You can view the holders, you can view, like I said earlier on, the whole blockchain technology, the whole concept of DeFi is it's transparent, right? You can see everything that is happening. So in this case, I went there. You can actually see Ubuntu, the contract. You can view the contract. It's there. You can go through the contract. You can see it for yourself. etc. etc. Right? I don't want to go there. I want to come here to holders. Now you can see the holders that are there. Like I said, you can only see the address unless otherwise people decide to customize, or some people will decide to customize their addresses. It's a preference. But here you can actually see the wallets, who's holding what. Right? By mean who, like who, no, I don't mean like the name, but I think you get it. So here we've got, the pool there, the Uniswap, these because I know that to like 4%, 2%, that's probably the team or marketing wallets. See, all of that is actually locked. I know these are vesting wallets because the community, these are vested wallets, which means they'll only be, we'll only start seeing movement on these wallets later on. But these are going to the team, which is fine. It's like 4%. That's fine. Now, most probably people will see this huge wallet here. That's like holding like 83% of the whole project, right? In other projects, if they haven't specified what that is for, this is a major flag, red flag, because if this wallet decides to sell, that's the whole project gone. So this scares out most people. But in this case, we're not concerned. On Ubuntu, we're not concerned about this. Why? Because the developers have already said that this is going into the staking contract. All of this is going to the staking. That is why it's still being held here. So once the staking is ready, all of this is going to the staking. So I think what will only be remaining, so all these 1, 2, 3, 4, I think the holders are starting from around here going down. Now there is a Ben wallet because it burns. Saw the Ben wallet the other day. I think it was on page 2. Oh, we're on page 3 already. Okay, let's go. Ways. Oh, there we go. So that's what's been burnt so far, right? Which is pretty cool. So this is some of the things that you'd actually want to look at, So like I was saying, you can see the number of transfers that are happening, what's going on, amount, 10 million, 10 million, it has to correspond, with whatever is happening. So this is just some of the things that you actually want to actually look for. when you're looking into these projects. Now, I want to go back to the chart. Now, I know people see these red flags like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Now, what's pretty much going on is this is where the project launched. This was 7 days ago, right? They've got this big red candle here, and then we had people buying, then you had another red candle, and then you had another red candle. This is where we are. Now, these are all bots, right? These are all bots. So earlier this morning, all of these bots, they sold. Or these probably got in at the beginning of the project and they all sold. Now, if you go on the transaction and you click on it, come on now, there we go. Now see, how many are they holding? They're not holding any Ubuntu tokens. They're no longer holding anything. So these bots are now going up. So these are created by, they're just people out there. Like I said, it's a thing that's the crypto is for everybody. But people create bars that just their sole aim is to get into any new project that comes in for a specific period of time. They've got their own specific rules. But anyway, eventually with time, those go away. So that is why you would actually see things like this, right? It's those bots trying to actually manipulate the market, get people into like selling as well. But it's no worries. This is just going out there, just taking their profits. The profit entered there, boom, then they took the profits. Now we're going up again, boom. So majority of them now have gone out. The ones that are left, like I saw in the morning, they're holding like a few. There are some that bought for like $14, $4, which is fine. These ones had like huge amounts, like $600, like $500. But the cool thing now is this is a time to buy. So without mentioning names, I know someone who bought yesterday for like 1 million tokens for like $14 around here, just before this sold. So someone bought in here 1 million tokens. They got them because the price was still here, got them for $14. Then the price went down. Then I saw another person right now. I was like, oh, okay. I need 1 million tokens. So 1 million tokens right now is about $7, 40 something, $7.43, right? At the time when I was with him. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna get some. So now imagine this. He's gonna get 1 million tokens for $7 right here. And then as soon as price goes back up here, what's gonna happen to this person? That's at like double. He's like doubled his money already in just a short period of time. So now he's gonna buy for $7. Once it reaches here, it's already double. So that is the power of buying the dip. So buying the dip allows you to accumulate more tokens at a lower price. And when price starts going back up, all the way up, you're taking advantage of accumulating more, accumulating more, accumulating more, accumulating more. So when you see a project like this, it's actually an opportunity to actually get in because when the big money comes in, because all the buyers here, you can actually see, like I said, it's transparent. People are buying at $14, $4, $4, $14, $14, right? If someone comes in, buys a Max wallet for like $700, you know, if people start pouring $700, $700, $1,000, $2,000, $10,000, this is just gonna spiral out of control. And once it's up there, you can't really get like 1 million tokens, like 1 million tokens at $7, you know. So this is the advantage. If you see this, I would see it as an opportunity like, oh, okay, you know what? Bet. Let me get more. Let me get more. So that is the whole concept here. It's called buying the dip. So you buy that dip, get more. So once you see a red candle, buy. Goes up. See a red candle, buy a little bit more. It's gonna go up. Because that's just basic economics, right? So people get scared, like, oh, what's happening? Let's compare. Let's see what's happening on this coin market cap, right? What are what are the major guys doing? What's happening to Bitcoin? Bitcoin is down. Okay. Does this sort of thing happen everywhere? Let's look at Bitcoin. You can see here, Bitcoin, looking at it, 90,000. Just gonna wait for the chart to load. All right, cool. We're going on 1 month chart, right? Right. What happened there? Similar story. No, is it? The same thing. Same thing happens everywhere. Prices up there. Now it's down there. It's just the way things are, right? It took about a month ago. What happened? Price was even lower than what it was. It was right down there, 88,000. What was it? Now, here's something crazy. Now, I wanted you to look 1 year, 1 month, couple of months back, actually. You see, all of that happening. Where was the price there? 103. That was last year, November. 100,000. Where did it go up to? 83. So this is just normal behavior. It's normal behavior. That's like a normal chart. It happens everywhere. It happens to Bitcoin, it happens to any other projects that you want to go on. So let's go back. Ethereum, what happened on Ethereum? Let's look at their chart and what it looks like, right? Because we want to compare facts with facts, right? Let's see. There you go. But was like 3,000. I know for a fact that last year in November, it was definitely not at that. I know it was higher than that. I think it was around 4,000, if I'm not mistaken. Where is that? There we go. See here? 4,000. When was this? That was on the 10th, on the 27th of, this is what, October. 4,000. But where are we at now? This is 4,200. Almost the same, like 1,000 difference. Chart is way down there. That's just after 1 month. What's the 24-hour chart look like? Same story. No. So it's just how economics goes. Same with that. No, down. Price goes up, price goes down, price goes up, price goes down. Is it go up and down, up and down? That's just basic economics. That's just the fundamentals. Anything. Go to even the stock market. It's the same story. So I wouldn't really worry. I won't worry much. It's all about getting the project out. It's all about building up volume. So how do we build up volume with Ubuntu? Ubuntu, like I said, it's not just a token, right? It's not just a token. Go through the white paper, go through the website, read what's there, you know. Um, it's got an exchange, like I said. There's an exchange right there. It links into, so Ubuntu is backed by an exchange. It's backed by a game. I came off of TikTok right now. It's a very exciting, cool game that is coming out. Um, all of this. So the whole token is backed by all of this. Once this exchange moves, it's gonna be out of this world, right? So we've covered quite a bit so far. I know it's a bit much, but like I said, it's a crash course all over the place, but we're gonna get into detail. Or if you need any explanation, you can just leave a comment in the comment section below. All right, so we cover that. We cover Ubuntu. Visit the white paper. Go on social media. The only way communities grow is by spreading the word. Let's not gatekeepers. We missed out on an opportunity. 2009, Bitcoin actually launched. We missed out on the opportunity. This is an opportunity for us to actually get in this and make sure we actually get, you know, we get we get in early. Get in early. We need to get in early. We need to actually start moving. You know, we need to actually start moving, break that old time, share with your family, share with your friends, you know, because when you accumulate at this stage, there's another project that I wanted us to take a look at, right? And I hear people actually talking, oh, okay, fine. You're talking about Bitcoin, you're talking about Ethereum. Okay, let's look at other token. Dogecoin. What's the price at? 14 cents. All right. Let's see. Where did it start? Where did it start? We're gonna look at the overall chart and see. Right? Gonna go to here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. This is pretty crazy, right? This is pretty crazy. Look at all this. Excuse me. Now, I know there's a part here. Where is it? All-time low. The lowest, May 7, right? May 7, 2015. That was 11 years ago. Where was Doge? Okay. I want to give this as an example. I want you to listen to this clearly. Very, very clear. All right. 0, 1, 2, 3. There's how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 85. Where is Ubuntu right now? That was 11 years ago, right? Ubuntu is at how many? Like 5 zeros and 7. There were 5 zeros. But at one point, we were at 4. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're not far off. Right. It was at 8. I think our all-time high was sitting around 2, 4. Right. 4 zeros and 2, 4. Yeah. Doge, right? Doge is at what? I'm gonna screenshot this. 'Cause I'm gonna need this for later. I'm gonna screenshot after this. Doge 11 years ago. And then its all-time high was 73 cents. Now I want you to let that sink in. So, what? That was 2021. That was just like 5 years ago. It's all-time high, and it's sitting at 14 cents right now. Now, 11 years ago, it was there. So imagine someone who bought it in 2015. No, let's count 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 6 years later, right? If you had bought at that and you decided, you know what, I'm gonna get the Max wallet, right? Imagine if you had 100 million Dogecoins and then over that 6 year period decided, you know what, let me leave 50 million. Let me leave 50 million coin. So okay, let's actually calculate this real quick. Pull up a calculator here. Just want to demonstrate power of actually getting in early, right? Then I use Doge as my example, right? Then I do it. So imagine you had, okay, let's not go crazy. Okay, yeah, let's go crazy actually. Max order right now is like 100 million tokens. Let's see, that's 100,000, that's a million, 10 million. See if we got this right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's 100 million tokens. So we're saying Doge at the time, 2015 times 0.0000 8547. 8547. So that was like $8,000, right? For 100 million tokens. I want you to follow me here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I get that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. I hope I got this math right. Yeah. Now, years ago, when Doge, someone spent like 8,000, right? Now, assuming, just assuming, right? Let's assume that 6 years later, someone bought these, forgot about them, came back. Or let's say maybe over the period of 6 years, they were buying and selling, buying and selling. Let's say over the period of time, they had like 50 million tokens left, right? Remember, they bought at 8,500. So let's say here, this person had like 50 million tokens. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Times the all-time high for Doge was 73 cents, which, right, times 0.73. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 36.5 million. From just 8,000, excluding, like I said, we're just assuming, oh no, over the course of 5 years, they were just getting profit. Because this project really started to move. When did it start to move? Launched in 2015, or it started moving in 2020? And boom, this thing went up. Boom, boom, boom. So over that period, see, boom, 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 going up, going down, going up, going down. But it just flew, right? Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is now imagine if the same scenario is happening right now in Ubuntu, right? At this price. So you get in, like, oh, okay, fine. You know what? Bet. Let me give myself some 100 million tokens. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's 100 million times the current price. 0.12345 7 what? Say 7 what? Uh, where do we go? Oh, 74. Yeah. Let's just say 74. 74. So you can get 100 million tokens right now for $750, right? $750. Now, with whether it takes us 5 years, let's just put that into perspective. So you bought a $740. Let's assume we get to 15 cents. What does that mean? So if it goes to, so now you go like 100 million. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 times 15 cents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15 million. This is how crypto millionaires are made. This is when you hear about those stories, this is how it starts. This is how it starts. So whenever you see a dip, it's an opportunity. So imagine getting a max wallet here. You get a max wallet, $750. Boom. Reaches up to 15 cents. It's just something that you leave. Now, because of what's going to be happening on the exchange, right? Exchanges, you have no idea how much exchanges make, right? So I'm gonna go, um, let me go in the search, right? Let me go Luna. Luna is one of the biggest exchanges in South Africa, right? So exchanges, Luna is sitting at like number 197, right? Now there's like 12 million. Now imagine if this is volume, if they had their own, if man. Now imagine if Ubuntu, because of what it's gonna do, feeding the exchange, feeding into the coin. What's gonna happen here? It's not gonna take us, you know, 5, 6 years to actually reach 15 cents or 73 cents or $1 or whatever it is. We could reach that in a very short space of time. Now we add on the game and all these other products that are coming in. Now you've got so much volume, so much feeding into the ecosystem, into the coin, driving the price up even further. And that is the reason why you're supposed to get in early. I don't know how I can emphasize this as much as I can, but when you see this, accumulate. Now, when it goes up, right, we're going to get to the strategy when it actually goes up. People will often ask me, oh, okay, so at what time do you want to cash out? Why would I want to cash out from a project that is going to give me more? Now, I'll talk about staking, I want to talk about staking in another video, but when you actually stake, I'm trying to talk about it when the staking goes live. I'm going to do a staking video. But staking, imagine you actually stake, and that actually now they Ubuntu is going to be giving away Ethereum for staking. Imagine that. So now, if you follow the news, do your own research, follow the news, follow where, what people are actually saying about Ethereum, where its projected price is going to be. Like I said, it went up to like 4,000. Right now it's like 3,200. It went up to like 4,200 yesterday, you know. So imagine you're getting Ethereum rewards. Now you're getting Ethereum just for staking your token. So your tokens are increasing in value. You're getting Ethereum, which you can use to purchase more Ubuntu tokens, to purchase more. So you're staking. From your staking rewards, you get more Ethereum. You come back here, you purchase more Ubuntu at the deep, and you keep accumulating, accumulating, accumulating. I'm telling you, this is the most powerful ecosystem I've seen. I won't talk about, there's another one that actually showed promise, but this is the most, this is one thing you're supposed to have in your portfolio. So I'm going to talk about portfolios. In the next video, I'm going to talk about the power of actually having digital portfolios. But this is by far the best project I have seen. So this is what I have for you today. If you're not yet on, right? If you're not yet, this is like the best platform to actually get started. If you're starting in crypto right now, if you're looking for a project, if you're, this token, you know, this is a revolution that has been built in Africa, for the world, you know, and it provides real utility. It provides, financial freedom for a lot of people. A lot of people. Like I said, the price right now is so ridiculously affordable. Ridiculously affordable. I would accumulate 10 million, 20 million, 50 million tokens right now. Accumulate as much as you can. These are the projects that you want to get in. Get into the get into the chat. I was talking to another colleague of mine. I was like, hey, listen, buy now, ask questions later. Because I'm telling you, this thing, when it kicks off, you don't want to be left behind. You saw the Doge caught, and unfortunately, I closed the tab. You saw Doge. It's like just blew up. No one's gonna send you a notification. Oh, we're gonna, it's gonna pump. By then, it'll be too late. If you don't accumulate now, pretty much you don't want to accumulate when stuff starts hitting it like a cent. You saw with Doge. Right now, it's sitting at 14 cents. Once it gets into the cents range, it's really difficult to actually buy in when it's lower like this again. That's going to be next to impossible. So this is a time to accumulate. I would say before price, before we start killing zeros, once a project, right, starts killing zeros, and especially a project that is backed by a game and a thing, an exchange, and so many other things to follow, I am telling you, you'll be crying later on, just like people cried about Bitcoin 16 years, 15 years ago, you know. So Ubuntu is here. It's for us. Go through the white paper, right? The community, this is a technology that has come into our hands. Let's call on the masses. Let's actually do this. There's so many things that are upcoming. Look at this. Borderless payments, airtime and data, utilities and payments. You know, there's going to be a Visa card, native exchange. This is already there. Secure and audited. The audit report is already out there. Deflationary. It's already deflationary because this token actually burns, which means the price, because it's burning so little, you can't really see it, but it's actually deflationary that way, right? Community driven. The community is large on Telegram, on TikTok, like so many different platforms. So all those projects is built on trust. It's built on everything. It's built by the community for the community, and I would really get onto this. So, if you're looking into crypto, if you're started in crypto, this is the place to be. You know what? I'm gonna leave it here today. If you have any questions, if you want to learn more, like I said, I'm gonna leave links in the description. If you want to learn more, feel free to drop a comment, send me a message. And if there's any project that you want me to look at, I can look into that. I am into this project. I'm going to share another project that I'm looking at as well. Excuse me. Project that I'm into as well. Uh, that'll be in a later video. I'm going to share projects that I'm actually also into. I'm also holding in there. Like all these projects, I'm not just talking because, I'm just saying it. I'm in this project. I'm in another project as well. Um, and that's the whole point. This is how you build your own, um, this is how you start building your portfolio. Having stuff like this in your portfolio is very, very, very important. But anyway, thank you very much for tuning in live. I would really recommend that you look into this, and I'll catch you on the next video where we're going to discuss more about portfolios, and I'm going to give a few examples of what I'm going to give two projects that everyone should have, and then we're going to look at some wallets. And then later on, I'm going to do another video where I'm going to talk about staking once the Ubuntu staking is out. Both platforms that I'm going to share, their stakings, they're going to be out soon. And I'm going to be talking about them, but I'm really big on Ubuntu, and I'm going to share that video with you. But further than that, I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, just leave a like, just leave a comment, and I'd really appreciate the feedback and the support. Thank you very much, and I will see you on the next video.